Bonjour, my babies. Today we're making calas. So I'm adding rice to the boiling water and we're gonna cook it down until it's mushy. This is an old traditional like rice fritter that was made by the black enslaved women, and they used to sell the calas to get their freedom. In the 18th centuries, they'd go to the French market or the Boucaret and sell these. So I'm going to show you today how we make them. So I have to get this rice, boil it down till it's mushy. So you have to, the reason why you're boiling it down, because you want the rice to basically overcook and get mushy, so it's soft and mushy, so you can make it into a batter. So you don't want it like grain for grain, like you would cook the rice when you're eating it, because you want it to form into a batter. So you want it to be really mushy, so you're basically overcooking the rice. And it's gonna take maybe 10 minutes to get it mushy. Okay, so now the rice is getting mushy. The water has evaporated. We still have a little way more to go, but you can see it is getting soft now, but it needs to get softer. But it's on its way. See, and all the water has not reduced. Okay, now it's ready. The rice is mushy. So let me move it to this bowl for it to cool down and then smash it. Because you want it mushy and we're making a batter. So it has to cool down. Once it cools, you add a 3/4 teaspoon of yeast, but it has to cool. You're just speeding up the process. And then once it's cool, then you mix this up, the yeast, because the yeast is gonna ferment it. So then this is instant yeast. So I will put it in the refrigerator overnight. So I have some already made in the refrigerator.
And just to be clear, so how long does it take to cool before you put the yeast
So
in?
it's gonna take about, it can take like up to an hour to cool because it's really hot. And so while it's hot, you smash it down. So, and then you put it in the refrigerator for 24 hours overnight, 12 to 24 hours, so the yeast will ferment it. Okay. And once it's fermented, we can go ahead and mix it up with the eggs and the sugar. Okay, now let's go ahead and make this into a batter. So we want to add the eggs. So I always add my eggs one at a time to make sure nothing's wrong with them before I add them to the mix. We're gonna start with 2 eggs because we don't want this batter to be too loose. Yep, 2 eggs should be enough. Mix it thoroughly.
So tell me what you know about some of the history about this. So we read that like some women bought their own slavery from this, right?
Right. So the black enslaved women would go out to the French market. They would go or the Boucaret, which is the French quarters, and they would sell these Calas. And they would they had a call. They would say Calas, Calas, Belle Calas, Tout, chauds, which means beautiful Calas, very hot. And they would use this to sell these and use the money to pay for their freedom. So now it's in a batter. Let's add the sugar.
So this history is before beignets?
This is before beignets, and it was the 18th centuries. And this was before beignets. This is what they were making. And it's from West Africa, which it was called noob, or what the word means, kara, which is rice cakes. So it was brought from West Africa. And these were before beignets. So what I'm trying to do is bring this back, because not a lot of the new generation knows about this. And this is something coming up, was made for celebrations like first communions and baptisms, and they would make them at that, and we would eat them. But it became a lost snack dessert.
Why do you think that is?
Because of the younger people don't make it, and then they don't cook, and it was, I don't know, these days they don't like to cook and they like to go out to eat.
Yeah.
And it wasn't in restaurants. This was something that was made at home.
Okay. So beignets just had better marketing.
And beignets became commercialized, and these were not commercialized. That's what right. Okay, so we added the sugar. So now let's add the vanilla. Oh no, not the vanilla. I forgot. We gotta add rice flour. So I am adding rice flour because back in the 18th centuries, what they did, they didn't have rice flour. So what they would do, they would take the rice and they would pound the rice in a mortar and pestle until it became a flour. So now we have rice flour. And actually this is rice flour made right here in California.
What other benefits is the wife using rice flour?
So this rice flour, I have rice in the rice flour. Rice is naturally gluten-free. So this dish is gluten-free. So I'm adding enough rice flour to make the dough thick enough. I don't want it too loose. I don't want my batter loose. I want it to be able to foam into a ball. And the rice flour also makes it crispy. Okay, I think that's the consistency I like. So now let's go ahead and add the vanilla. I like introducing the old authentic dishes to the world. Now that we have the internet, social media, it becomes global.
Okay.
so the world can know about New Orleans authentic dishes. So now let's add some nutmeg. And I like the whole nutmeg and grated. And the cinnamon bark. Because then when you grind it, it's fresh. Let's mix this up. And then we can take it to the stove and fry it. And this is the consistency I'm looking for. Okay, we can go to the stove and fry it up. All right, so let's test the grease. The way they used to test the grease, they would put a bread, and if the bread turned golden brown, they know the grease was ready. If the bread burnt, the grease is too hot. So it is golden brown, so it is ready. So let's start frying up some Calas. So they floating to the top.
So you eat these like donuts?
You eat them like donuts. You put powdered sugar on them.
You remember your
They
first time
kill it.
trying it?
I was, maybe I was like 10 years old at a celebration, and they had the Calas, and that was my first time trying them. And they were good. They taste better to me than beignets. They pillowy. And you know, they full of powdered sugar, or you can put cane syrup on them too.
How you like it? What's your favorite one?
I like them both ways. I don't have a favorite.
You mix
It
'em up.
depends on what mood I'm in. So see how they puffing up, and you get them brown. And I put cinnamon and nutmeg, but that's the traditional way. But you can also add other flavors, like you could add lemon zest, orange zest. You could add coconut, pineapple, and I guess you could add fruit too if you like. But I'm normally eating them the traditional way. And you could add condensed milk. I think the next time I cook them, I'm gonna create my own flavor.
I appreciate you not using condensed milk this time, so I can try it.
Well, I wanted to make them, this is actually my second time making these. So I wanted to make them the traditional way. So when I first cook something, I like to do it the traditional way, and then I tweak it.
And then you start to remix.
Yes.
So you know they done just from the brown.
They brown, I can tell they done from, and they float to the top. When they float to the top, they done. And you want to add that powdered sugar when they're hot. So I'm going to add powdered sugar to this batch. And they're normally eaten with café au lait. Let's flip these over. And I want them to get a little browner. Or gluten-free because...
Say that again for me, I'm
So
sorry.
these are gluten-free because I use rice flour. I didn't use all-purpose flour. I use rice flour, and rice is naturally gluten-free. And I wanted to do that because traditionally, when they were made in the 18th centuries, they would take the rice and pound it in a mortar and pestle until it became flour. And then they would add that to the rice. Let them get a little more crispy. Okay, let's take them out. The good cane syrup. Steam's cane syrup from New Orleans. Okay. And we can pour some on 102. And then whoever wants some, they can add it. All right, and there you have it.
That's it.
Calas. Calas. Bell Calas. Tout chauds. That's the calling the enslaved women would say when they were out in the market. Bell Calas. Tout chauds. Means beautiful Calas, very hot.
Sun says love to you, baby.